This is Steve Black, and I want to talk to you about Pinterest for business. This is a great social network. It's one of the things that's unique about it is that it has a long shelf life, where a tweet might be out there for 15 minutes, a Facebook post might be out there for 4 hours. With Pinterest, if you invest time doing it right, and we're going to talk about some of the best practices today, some applications, you can get long-lasting results from your efforts. If you don't know who I am, I'm Steve Black. I'm an international and author and speaker. I'm also the headliner at the Success Summit seminars. This is being recorded live for anybody that misses it as part of our business success training, ongoing group coaching, where you can go ahead and get a lesson every month, as well as have access to our staff to answer any questions you get stuck with regarding sales, social media, or marketing. Reminder, you get out of this program what you put into it. If you need to reach us with any business questions, you email us at coaching@businesssuccesstraining.com. In our members area, we'll be uploading some guides for that will help you with Pinterest, including one that complements this webinar. Also, we're just putting together a new updated book called The Guide to Pinterest Marketing, and it'll be in the members area shortly. When you look at Pinterest, it's a social bookmarking site. So people are basically going out there, they're finding pictures, things they like, they're adding them to boards. There's a community that's built around it. And there's various little subtleties that you have to be aware of if you're going to be effective, and that's what we're going to talk about today. As you post things, people are encouraged to repin them, which gives you that viral exposure for your business, your brand, and your community. Inside Pinterest, if you haven't been in the interface, you'll set up, you'll be able to follow things, whether it's travel, food, gardening, real estate, motivation. And so when you first set up your account, it asks you what you're interested in. And then when you log into Pinterest, it puts things in front of you via their feed. And just like Facebook, they have an algorithm. So everything you post doesn't get out to everybody that follows you, but if you follow some of the principles we'll talk about today, you have a better chance at being successful. Why should you care about Pinterest? Well, if people are going to hit your Facebook, if they're going to hit your website, that's called traffic. And about 4% of traffic on the internet is generated from Pinterest. So when people Google Orlando real estate, or they Google Orlando golf courses, or they Google Orlando restaurants, and you have boards that are set up around it that have been liked a lot and repinned, you have a better chance of showing up in the search engines, which then leads people to you, your business, and discovering you, where you could generate leads. Pinterest is a sticky network. The demographics are very favorable, and it continues to grow. Who uses Pinterest? A lot of women. In Europe, it's almost 80% women that use it. In the US, it's less than that, but the women that are on there, a lot of them are very successful. They make six figures. A lot of them have children, even though the average age, still is between 25 and 35. And men can be successful as well, because even though there's a lot of women there, of the people that are posting out there, 40% of the top posters happen to be men. So men marketing to women. Some vocabulary that you need to be familiar with. First off, pinning. It could be a photo, a graphic, like a infographic, where you might detail certain things, whether it's the home buyer's process, documents you need for a loan, statistics on an area. And a lot of people don't know that you could also share video on your pin board. And when we talk about pin board, picture a cork board up on the wall that just is about one topic. So if you were in your home office and you had 5 cork boards, and one of them was dedicated to talking about gardens, one was dedicated to talking about golf courses, one was dedicated to your listings or or your inventory at your store. The next one was maybe tips on how to get money most for your house, or to save money on your taxes, or various coupons. And then those are online folders, and they're called pin boards. Bookmarklet, we'll talk about that. That's code that's added to a browser that allows pinning. So one of the things you need to talk to your webmaster about is anything that you have, whether it's a picture, a virtual tour, that people can not only share that on Facebook, they could also share it easily on Pinterest if they were to choose to do that. And repinning is adding other people's pins to your board. So a lot of times you'll find your best content on Pinterest, but then you could categorize it under your account, so that's where people would find it. So an example of this might be going out there and creating a board around your favorite motivational quotes. Then you could go ahead, go to our Pinterest collection of quotes. You could go to other people, and then you could share that all into a board that you had titled Mary's Favorite Quotes. And this would just be one of the pieces of content that you would have out there that would be attractive to people and keep you top of mind. When you sign up on Pinterest, you can either use an email, or you can sign up using your Twitter or Facebook account. It's really a personal choice. I mean, Facebook makes it easy to remember those logins and friends to find you, because what'll happen is people that are on Pinterest will be notified that, hey, you have 17 Facebook friends, and you'll be one of them to find you. You could also sign up with an email, and that way, you immediately get assigned the password. But I would probably go the route of using your Facebook account. And then my second choice would be Twitter. My third one would be email. But anyways, it's real simple. You'll just authorize your account either via Twitter or Facebook, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll. So the menu will guide you through that. You'll want to go ahead and create a username and password like you do with all of the social networks. And I always recommend using the same name or something similar. Now, on some of these networks, you're limited to characters. Like I think on Twitter, it's 14 or 15 characters. So when you have a long branding name like Business Success Training, I had to shorten that to Biz Success Train. But if you could get 15 characters that are your brand, like Orlando Homes or Great Orlando Homes, I think that's too many characters, but something that hopefully also matches up with your domain name. And then what you're going to want to do when you go ahead and start to put things into categories is carefully choose the ones that best represent your business. And Pinterest will go ahead and add some followers to you based on the categories that you choose to participate on. Yeah, the interface is real intuitive, so the best way to do this, like any of the social networks, is to do it. If you get stuck, message us, and we'll go ahead and help you. But anybody that follows you will see your pin boards. Now, if there was somebody out there that was making negative comments or lewd comments, you could always choose to have them unfollow you. And when you set up pin boards, you're not limited, so you could have one board there that focuses on your business, which would probably not be your best strategy because nobody goes there to get sold. You could set up 5 to 10 that were about the community, that were about interesting things, that were about design, that were about gardens, that were about local activities. And then you could have one board there that maybe displayed your local products or services, whether that was real estate, your store, your business, your customers. And then when you make your user profile, a couple tips is with your About Me section, make sure that you have carefully chosen your location, your website, and that you use keywords that create that backlink for your SEO. If you don't know keywords, you got to understand that people aren't necessarily searching for what you think they're searching. If they go to Google and they type in Winter Park Realtor, or are they typing up Winter Park Real Estate Agent? So you got to use maybe the Google keyword tool, find out what people are actually searching for, and then as you add posts, you add pictures, you go ahead and use those keywords in the description. You also, give them a link to either hit you on Facebook or hit you on Twitter or hit you on your website, which would be the one that would affect your SEO performance. So just keeping with all this, I want to, if I have any questions, I'm going to check the chat box, and then we're going to return over to the live webinar. If anybody has any questions, enter them in the chat box. I want to go ahead and add to the chat box a few tips for you. And again, I'll include these in the follow-up email as well. And let me see if I can get this to pull up. Actually, it's not letting me do that. So let me go to everyone and grab that. So let me pull that up for you. Get this to copy. Control C. And go back over here. Okay. The paste function isn't working. All right, so I'm going to go back to the webinar. I'll include that in the follow-up message. I'm going to go ahead and include some tips on what you should be posting to if you're a traditional business, as well as some specific tips if you're a real estate agent, what you should be posting for buyers and sellers. And we'll do a quick review of those in a few minutes. But going back to the webinar, when you, I'm going to include these, but again, just go through this as you set up. You'll be able to figure it all out. You're going to want to have your first name, last name, and then the stuff that's going to help you with the SEO, your website, your backlinks, your cities. You want to be specific with that, so as people search for you or those keywords that you get found. When you are adding content, you can repin stuff from a website, or you can actually upload the picture from your computer, or you can just share from another pin from another Pinterest user. So I included some instructions for you. You could go through these on your own. And the key with these images, make them high quality. You know, if you've got the choice between a low quality image or a high quality, you know, it's a visual platform. When I talk about the JavaScript, that's something that is just a piece of code, and then you would put it on your website, and then people could go ahead and repin it. Let's say it was a house, it was a neighborhood, it was an article, it was an infographic, things that you're putting out there. Pinterest obviously is a mobile platform as well. So one of your action items after today's workshop, if you, besides setting up your Pinterest account if you don't have one, is to download the app and get it onto your phone. So make a note there that one of your to-dos is to go ahead and download the Pinterest app. And then once you got everything set up, you'll be able to go ahead and start sharing your Pinterest post across networks. There's also an app inside of Facebook that you're going to want to search for, and you would just go to Pinterest and then add the app to your Facebook. And then what that allows people to do is see your Pinterest post right within Facebook. We talked about embedding. If you set up your blog or your website properly, then as you're adding pictures, as you're adding infographics, as you're creating this content for social media, people can quickly share it. That might be a tech thing that you have to talk to your web designer about, or if you manage your own website and you use WordPress, there's a plugin that you can use that'll make this real easy and explain it for you. And you'll just get the code that Pinterest supplies to you, and then you'll be able to go ahead and embed it. So if you have any questions on that, message us and we'll get that for you. Pinterest, like any other network, you want to be kind of careful about the self-promotion. You're going to pin your own stuff, and you're also going to find other interesting stuff. The other interesting stuff is, what is your demographic about? If you hear other speakers on social media talk, they'll talk about creating an avatar or multiple avatars. So the avatar is, what is your customer about? Are they 25 years old and living downtown in a high rise? Are they 55 years old and they live out in the suburbs as an empty nester, as their kids go off to college? Or are they somewhere in between? And then what would appeal to those people? If I was targeting women that were millennials between 25 and 35, I know a high percentage of them are going to get married over the next 10 years. So maybe I'm creating boards around the best places locally to get married, or the best places to have your wedding reception. So you want to create stuff that appeals to your audience and isn't too much about you. Always give credit to people. Bad etiquette would be to go ahead and download somebody's picture, re-upload it, and then not give them credit. You might as well just repin it, give them credit to the source. When you are commenting on other people's stuff, don't get into social media wars. Always try to be polite as possible. If somebody was to try to share something with you that was offended, you could easily report it, and the Pinterest will cease distributing it and look into the matter. You want to be careful of copyright laws, as I've talked about before. You can't just go to Google, find a picture that's out there and upload it. What you should do, if you want to use great photography, there's a website called unsplash.com. That's UNSPLASH as .com. And a lot of good photographers have taken some really good pictures. And then you would upload those. They've already given you the rights to use those, so for personal and commercial. There's other websites where you can get free photos that are high quality, as well as pay for it. If you're using Canva, for example, they have free ones. They have ones that you could use for $1 to $10 per photo. One of the things you should do as an individual with Pinterest and with all social media is start taking more pictures with your phone. Make sure that they're as high quality as possible. Take them up bridges, take them up parks, take them up the community, because you can use those in any capacity you want. And when you're posting, make sure that you're posting from the actual page. I see a lot of people, they try to link a picture over to Pinterest via a website, and they run into trouble because they're not copying the whole URL. The URL may be businesssuccesstraining.com/blog/cool boat docks. And they end up just copying the first part versus all of it, so make sure you include that. I talked about who's your ideal follower. That means you really understand marketing. You go ahead and you ask yourself, who are you trying to reach? Are they high income? Are they first-time buyers? Are they young people? Are they people that are empty nesters? You can kind of figure that out by looking at who you're connected to already on the social networks. You can look at the people that are interacting with your social comments, and then you could also look them up on the various networks and see who they follow and what they're about, and it kind of just snowballs from there. If people that you're connected to on social media, you'll usually either be able to go directly there by entering in their username, and you could choose to follow one of their boards. You could choose to view all of their boards. And the good etiquette in Pinterest, as well as with Instagram, if somebody follows you, follow them back. So be a part of that actively. As I told you, I'll be also providing you with some very specific boards that you can go with. But if you're a real estate agent for buyers and sellers, make your boards descriptive. They don't have to be cute, like glitzy homes. You want to, instead, you'd be better off going with a keyword like winter park homes. Best winter park homes, that would be a long tail keyword. Categorize your boards. As you make your boards up, you'll see what I mean by this, but winter park gardens, winter park restaurants, winter park golf courses. So as people are searching those, they end up finding what they're looking for. And sometimes you can choose to add collaborators to the board, like your customers. You might encourage your customers to go ahead and post pictures of their pets or pictures of their gardens as you make these boards. So that'd be a good way to engage your client base, your contact, your sphere, and make them feel a part of this to have more buy-in. So you can either make these open publicly or open only to certain people. Your ultimate goal with Repin is to create that viral activity. When you post cool stuff, whether it's a picture about a meme about Memorial Day or a good quote, or it's about a great garden, you want people to share this. So make them high quality. Make sure your descriptions are added. And hashtags. We've done sessions on hashtags before. Hashtags are not that important with Facebook, but they are really important with Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Now, what I recommend if you don't understand hashtags is to go into the members area and actually grab my Pinterest marketing guide. And on page 7 of the Pinterest marketing guide, I have 32 different keywords listed for realtors to use. And if you're not in real estate, you've got to ask yourself, what would people be looking for? What hashtags? If you're in fashion or have a retail store, maybe fashion, women's fashion, Guess jeans. I'm dating myself there. But whatever the hashtag is that people are looking for. Hashtags are online folders, they're exclamation points, and you got to be careful about not putting too many out there. I like them when they're relative to conversation. So like an example of a pin, if I posted a house, luxury real estate, Winter Park, Florida, I might go ahead and do hashtag luxury, hashtag real estate, then maybe comment in normal verbiage, something like, luxury real estate, hashtag luxury, hashtag real estate. Florida has some of the best luxury hashtag real estate. Some of the best is located in hashtag Winter Park, where it is convenient to hashtag Rollins College. And that way it doesn't look spammy, but it looks conversational and you're still using the effective hashtags. So I hope that makes sense to you. Time waster, you can get email updates. So as people are interacting with your posts, they're commenting, that you're able to jump back in, like their comments, reply to comments. This could all be part of your 15 to 30 minutes that you do a day. You might go to Pinterest only when you're notified, because again, the most active network is Twitter. If you're not on Twitter and you're not listening, the conversation is getting by you. Facebook, stuff lasts about 4 hours, and of course you can go to people's profiles and see what they've been posting about. And with Pinterest, it isn't quite as active. So, maybe part of your weekly activity would be to check it twice a week in the morning, and then augment that with any notifications that you get. On your side, though, do be consistent with it. Maybe those Monday and Wednesdays are it, or you do a Monday Pinterest tip, you share it to Facebook, and then you do one on Friday as a market update. So there's different ideas there that you can utilize. Excuse me, I'm having real bad allergies today, so I had to drink some fluid. But on Pinterest, to create traffic and sales, we mentioned keyword optimization, SEO, keep your board on top of the searches by posting actively on a regular basis, adding to your boards once they've been established. That keeps you in people's algorithms. Make sure you follow people, that you monitor the conversation, and that the stuff that you post is meaningful. Make it easy for readers to use. If you're using WordPress, I mentioned some of the plugins you could use. You could talk to your web designer about adding an RSS feed so people could easily subscribe to Pinterest. And, if you have a mobile business card, include it as one of the networks that people can connect with you on. By backlinking to your website, that creates those traffic and helps your website. So just having a presence on Pinterest, even if you don't use it a lot, invest 2-3 hours, get it set up, make it look good, make sure these links are set up, and you're going to get traffic for 5 years off of it. Avoid the open house stuff, avoid coupons, because they're going to go out of date, but people are going to get confused. If you're going to include those kinds of topics, make sure they have a date on them so that people don't get confused. If you're involved in internet marketing, or you're trying to make online sales, Make sure most of your stuff isn't text, but it's in terms of graphics. You can create infographics with canva.com, canva.com. There's also some apps that you can use. If you were to Google infographics, those are the things that could be as little as a square to really long. And they aren't real hard to create if you're using one of these templates. You know, another thing you could do is share photos that, you know, create a board around your staff, things that go on at your office, and you could film how-to videos. Like, you know, maybe, you know, we've had these recent hurricanes in Houston and all through Florida. So maybe you can go and do a few how-to videos relative to, hey, it's hurricane season, and if you're looking to secure your property, go ahead and put towels down in front of the garage and in front of your doors to avoid any water from overflowing into your house. You know, it could be something as simple as that. So if you have any questions, enter them into the chat box. I do have some more tips that I'm going to be sharing with you on how to use Pinterest. So I'm going to come back to these, but I want to go to the chat box and see if we have any questions. All right. So when I talk about business boards, I'll be including these in the members area, but you want to create these boards with high value pins, and you know, it all should be congruent. You know, if you're a part of a network marketing company that's health and wellness, everything should be about that. You don't necessarily want the boards to be about cats and dogs, unless your product was to help those kinds animals as well as people. If you're a realtor, you know, you can list your homes for sale. This is a place where you could create different boards for each neighborhood you serve. You have one for Winter Park, you have one for Oviedo, you have one for Kissimmee, you have one for Dr. Phillips. If there's a big price point between the boards that you sell, then you want to, the homes you sell, then you could go ahead and, you know, do that for luxury, starter homes, move up board. You can put up testimonials, you know, where you can kind of brag about your just sold, your just listed, or even get clients to do those testimonial videos and post them here. And then you could also, you know, do visuals of articles that you like, or the infographics or videos, and maybe it's a teaser. So I do a little video with, hey, here are three of my favorite quotes. If you want more, go over to our website, and we've got 100 more of these for you. Get them to fill out a form, and, you know, put them on your list. So we'll return to, we'll give you those tips in writing, but right now I want to just talk about 10 reasons that, again, you're going to use Pinterest for business. So the first reason, I think, is because, you know, being active on Pinterest, you become a trusted source. You're leaving these breadcrumbs of credibility, and while, you know, a lot of consumers are just looking at pictures, if they keep discovering you, they keep seeing your tips, you know, you're top of mind. And it could lead to a phone call. It might not lead to a phone call, but if you're targeting the people and you're connected to the people that are in your area, you know, they're seeing what you're putting out there. So why should you play on Pinterest? As I said, it's a time-consuming endeavor on the front end, you know, 2 or 3 hours, and then it lasts forever with those backlinks. It helps you get found as people Google things that are relative to you, whether it's antique shop, accounting service, or real estate agent. There's resources that you can utilize that will help you better understand what are popular pins, what are popular boards. You can then look at what other people are doing. You can check out a website called repinly.com, and that'll give you some cool stats and things that you can look at. We mentioned infographics, so go ahead and create some. Look at Infographic Creator or use canva.com, canva.com, and then they have templates that are make it real easy for you to create great visuals where it tells a story, whether that's an infographic about how to get your house ready for sale, 5 tips that you can utilize to make small space seem larger, or gardening tips and seasons to plant certain flowers. When make sure that you integrate Pinterest with Facebook, because Pinterest doesn't get as much traffic as Facebook. It gets some, but people are still going to Facebook to check their news feed. Another trick you want to do is just get in the habit of sharing your Pinterest posts to Facebook, and that way people that are on Facebook discover you on Pinterest. They start following you just like they're friends with you on Facebook or liking your page. There is so much content out there that I could literally go into Pinterest right now. I could go ahead and say I want to create a board around golf courses in Florida, and then I would just go ahead and find everybody else's pictures. I don't have to go and take these pictures, and then I could create a board and have something that is 90% other people and 10% my own pictures. I talked about video. If you're going to get testimonials, if you're going to do virtual house tours, if you're going to do videos of your store and educating people about what goes on behind the business or the scene, make sure you're sharing this on Pinterest, and doing vice versa, sharing videos that you originally post to Pinterest back to Twitter and Facebook. You can really niche these down, as I mentioned earlier. So since there's no limit on boards, you can really get specific with them and create these subcategories. I would recommend doing that, whether that's on price range or it's geographically. And if you're in the retail space, you can sell on Pinterest. And Pinterest is one of the few networks that really encourages this. So if you go to a website called SellPin, it'll give you some tools that makes this even more effective. But a lot of the pins, let's say that you were an affiliate marketer and you were selling ebooks or you were selling water filters, you could go ahead and put that out there, a picture of the filter and how to use it, and then a link for people to get more information or purchase it. And if you wanted to go with one more strategy, it would be, people that are bloggers, whether they're locally, there's blogs like mom blogs that have, 50,000 subscribers. If you could put up some good content and then share that with that person, now they would be out there promoting you and your content, which would lead to greater viral exposure. So those are 10 tips on how to use Pinterest, or a detailed guide on how to use Pinterest. That'll be a really good resource for you. And I'm also going to include some other training tips and specifics about what you can post. If anybody has any questions regarding anything else, you could always reach us at coaching@businesssuccesstraining.com, or you could text or call into the office with your question. The number there is 770-375-5208. If you're having any issues reaching the members area, you go to businesssuccesstraining.com/members. That'll provide you with the link so that you can log in. We've added a lot of content to the members area. Be a part of the Facebook group. That's also a place where questions that can be asked, and there's always announcements about what our topics are. If you have a topic that you need covered, or questions about how to do anything, part of your membership includes access to us. So whether it's Facebook ads or Pinterest, we're here to help. This is Steve Black, and I want to go ahead and just sign off. Wish all of you the best recovery from the storms. Continue your marketing efforts as we head into the last quarter of the year. marketing opportunities are all around us, whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. You've got to be creating memes and images that people are going to want to share. You're going to want to make sure you promote those posts on the various networks, whether it's Pinterest, Instagram, or Facebook, so that if you're going to take the time to create these memes and these images, that they get shared a lot. And then once you get that interaction, now it's time to be a part of the conversation, to pick up the phone, to call that person. And what'll happen is you'll call them up as part of your touch campaign, but you're top of mind. If I was to call Mary right now, who's on the webinar, or I was to call, Elizabeth or Bob or Tony and say, right after you've liked one of my posts, and you're going to say, oh, Steve, it's good to hear from you. I saw you posted about the hurricane. Are you and your family safe? I'll say, yeah, my family evacuated up to Atlanta, and yeah, I'm actually on the road out in Seattle. But, I appreciate you asking. Hey, I have a question for you. There's been a lot of positive activity as we head into the new year. I'm getting together with my VIP customers. I just want to see if there's anything I could update you on. I put together a list of stuff that's on the market, what's sold, what's under contract, and I'd love to get it out. And so it serves as a springboard where you're taking this cold contact, who is this, to, hey, I'm calling somebody top of mind. So that would be a great marketing tip, and one of the reasons why you want to invest not only time in Pinterest, but some of the other networks. With Pinterest, as I said, do it right. Go through the guides, set up these boards, make sure you have great images, review the webinar notes. I'll have some stuff in there, especially for my real estate clients, because I have so many of them, on how to deal with sellers, how to put up content on Pinterest that appeals to buyers as well. I'm going to sign off. I wish you a great fourth quarter. We'll be back on the webinar next month on the second Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Take care. Blessings. Going to sign off. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.